Tetzaveh Eis Yud. Okay, the last thing the Rebbe is explaining that seemingly the ultimate Kabbalah of Torah was after the story of Purim, after like his hapcha that Haman's house was given over to Esther, and so l'chayra, we speak about Mesiras Nefesh of torture is what makes it happen, and here we're saying the story happened afterwards. So the Rebbe explains that the concept is because we're still enslaved to Achashverosh. So he starts explaining that the fact that a Jew is in Golus is torture for the neshama. Because even a level like Rabbi or Tzaddikim, that by them there was no churban, meaning their level of godliness didn't change whether there was or not the Beis HaMikdash, but the fact that there was a far out corner somewhere that didn't feel godliness, that affects everybody. And like he said, Choyle equals Memtes, 49. That means even if a person reaches the 49th level of Kedusha, he's still Choyle, he's still sick. So therefore, and like the Alter Rebbe said, I don't want your Gan Eden, or like it says, if there would be one tzaddik that it would have brought Mashiach, or that really did tshuva, or any generation that doesn't rebuild the Beis HaMikdash is considered like to destroy the Beis HaMikdash, all those things that we learned. So therefore a person is kosis, not from oppression, but from the mere fact we're in Golus. So he says now in Yud like this. This essence of the neshama, that is affected, that's bothered from the mere fact that we're in Golus. And here the Rebbe is saying like this. So he says, there's kosis that makes ma'or from oppression, like in the story of Purim. But then there's a deeper level of revelation of ma'or, not necessarily from problems in Yiddishkeit, from the mere fact that we're in Golus, and a person is bothered by that, reveals a deeper level of a ma'or, of the essence of the neshama, even more than it was through the story of torture and oppression. By the way, today's class is sponsored by Avram Aradian for his daughter's birthday. Okay, anyway, back to him. The Inyan is like this. Okay, these few lines we learned. Okay, the reason why Matan Torah is only the beginning. This we learned already last week. Okay, this that the Jews said Nasiv and Ishma was Aidei Kaf Aleim Harka Gig is Gilim Umayla. Remember we discussed this at great length last week. The question is, what happened first, Nasiv and Ishma or the mountain over the head? Seemingly from the Gemara comes out that first they said Nasiv and Ishma, and then Hashem held the mountain over the head. But the other opinions, and that's the way Chassidus explains it, first was the mountain over the head, and then they said Nasiv and Ishma. But it explains what Chassidus explained. What do you mean the mountain over there? It wasn't, God forbid, forcing them. It was a revelation from above. The mountain over their head is a makif revelation that gave them the ability to say Nasiv and Ishma. So therefore, Matan Torah was a gilui that came from above. But b'mei Achashverosh ha'isa kabbalah mitzaratzman. But in days of Achashverosh, their acceptance came from their own, from themselves. It wasn't from above. Shusterman, he says like this. The lower level of Amunah. That Amunah is there because the Neshama Lamaila sees godliness. The cause and effect Amunah. Because the Neshama Lamaila sees Elokus, so therefore the Neshama in the body has Amunah. In this respect is similar to the Nasa before Nishma of Matan Torah. Because again, it came from above. And this that Achashverosh's time, the receiving was from themselves, Who kiyazn is galas kashes balukul shemitzad etzem neshama. That came from the essence of the neshama, his kashrus atzmis, an essential bond, shemitzad etzem mitziusim, because this is their existence. Like you said before, ultimate Mesiras Nefesh is, it can't be any other way. Why? Because the essence of the Jew is Elokus. And the essence is even in the body. The body, even the neshama that's in the body, its essence is one with Hashem. In other words, not cause and effect. Like the whole Maamar was explaining. There's an emunah that comes because the neshama sees Elokus, and therefore the neshama believes in godliness. But there's a deeper level. Why does the neshama believe in God? Because the neshama is God. And that was revealed, that can only come from ourselves. Because if it comes from above, that means there's a cause causing it to happen. The only way it's real essence is when it comes from yourself. It's not coming from a reason. Because this is you. Now the Rebbe is going to say, even in that level, there's two levels. Torture, complacency. He says, you can say even more detailed. Even in the essence of the neshama that comes from below, it's also in a certain respect two levels, even the revelation of the essence that comes from below. There could be one that comes from above still, and one that comes from your essence. Meaning, the Gilui Etzem Neshama Binyan HaMesiras Nefesh, the level of the revelation of the neshama. That's in the level of Mesiras Nefesh, Yeshlei Mashem, and again, Lekoich Sagaluyim. As far as the real revealed powers of the soul, who Kamei Dava Neisab, it's something added. I'll explain in a second. Let me just read a few lines. Kamei Sherem B'Perl B'Kama Noshim, like we see clearly by many people. Shebiyais and B'Malkum Shoyu Sham Gzeiris Al Torah Mitzvahs. In places where they had decrees against Torah Mitzvahs, they had Mesiras Nefesh, B'Perl Meshach, Kama V'Kama Shonim, they had real Mesiras Nefesh for many, many years. Yet, Shabo Achakach L'Medina, She'ef Shelasi B'Torah Mitzvah B'Teich Al-Chava. When they came to free countries, Einik B'Hem Kol Kach, you don't see so much the Mesiras Nefesh Shalom Kedav. Okay, let's explain like this. And this the Rebbe explains in okay, when you have, there's essence and there's the revelation. Okay? The essence of the neshama, and then you have the powers of the neshama, intellect, emotions, thought, speech, and action. But the essence of the neshama is also in a certain way limited, that its essence and not revelation. In other words, there's a rule, etzem built in his gala. The essence can't be revealed. Why can't it be revealed? Because once it's revealed, it's not essence. The essence can't be revealed because once you're revealing it in a certain way. It's coming out in a certain way, whether it's intellect or midas. Therefore, the Rebbe is saying like this. The essence of the neshama, when it impacts the revealed powers that they stood with Mesiras Nefesh, that's also a cause and effect to a certain extent. Yeah, it's coming from the Mesiras Nefesh of the Jew. It's coming from the Mesiras Nefesh of the Jew, but there's something causing it to happen. The decrees against Yiddishkeit, it's what's causing this to happen. Therefore, you find when there's no decrees, they don't have that same level of Mesiras Nefesh. So obviously, if it's sometimes yes and sometimes no, that means there's something that's sometimes causing it and something that's sometimes not causing it. So yes, Mesiras Nefesh brings out the essence of the neshama. But in the essence of the neshama, there's two levels. It's like, to explain like we learned many, many times. Infinite, in a certain respect, is limited. because it's not finite. Infinite is not finite. So as infinite as it is, it's still limited that it's infinite and not finite. Essence, granted it's not limited because it's the essence, but essence is limited that it's not the revealed powers. So when the essence reveals the revealed powers of Mesiras Nefesh, it's like also cause and effect. And the proof of it is, why do they sometimes have it and sometimes don't have it? And then the Rebbe is going to say like this: there is a level of essence that's not even essence. There's a level of essence, the way it's essence, it's defined as essence. And then you have essence, the way it's rooted in the essence of Hashem, that is above essence and above power, revealed powers. It's above infinite and finite. In other words, the lower level, what happened by the decree of Purim, the decrees against Yiddishkeit, was, so to speak, the infinite affecting the finite. The essence affecting the revealed powers. But there's still essence and revealed powers. And therefore, when a person doesn't have the decrees forcing him to reveal the essence of the neshama, they don't have it. They don't have Mesiras Nefesh. But the real level of Mesiras Nefesh, which is not limited in anything whatsoever, it's not finite, it's not infinite, it's not revelations, it's not essence, is a deeper level of the neshama that's rooted in the ultimate essence of Hashem that's above infinite and finite, above essence and revelation. We don't even dream about understanding what that means practically. But, and that's what the Rebbe says, that level of Maamar is revealed from complacency, from freedom of Golus. The essence, you know, which when a Jew is tortured to do mitzvahs, against mitzvahs, that is the lower level. You know what's interesting? When the Jews were decreed, decrees, they had no assimilation. Now in freedom, all of a sudden there's assimilation. It's easier, God forbid, to be assimilated today in America than it was in Russia when they tortured you for being a Jew. Because that was a cause that made it happen. But if it would be the real essence that I can't assimilate, then what's the difference when it is? If Mesiras Nefesh is real, then how come in Russia you had it more and in America you have it less? So it's not the real essence. The real essence doesn't change. So the Rebbe said, when is the real, even in other words, even in Maamar, there's two levels. In other words, to use simpler language, in infinite there's two levels. There's infinite that's limited, it's infinite and not finite. And then there's the ultimate infinite that's not infinite, not finite. It's above both. And that's eternal. That doesn't change. So therefore the Rebbe says, in the gilui of the essence of the neshama, there's sometimes the essence of the neshama is revealed, like during the decrees of Purim, when there was gzeirus against Yiddishkeit and all that, the hardships of Yiddishkeit. So yes, the Maamar was revealed, Mesiras Nefesh was revealed. And that caused a greater level than Matan Torah. Matan Torah came totally from above. Mesiras Nefesh and Purim, during the Mesiras Nefesh time, also was, but it came from ourselves. But then there's a deeper level, because even that level that came from ourselves was forced upon us by outer forces, that the essence influenced the revealed powers, but it's still essence which is above hidden revealed powers. Now, the ultimate, after Purim, And that's where the ultimate acceptance of Torah mitzvahs was after Purim, when Haman's house was given over to Mordechai and Esther, the concept not only breaking but transforming evil. Yeah? And then is the ultimate level of acceptance, ultimate level of more. What? You wanted to ask something?
Explain with words.
I should explain it with words?
No, explain with words.
No. Let me ask you a question.
Is there a darkness in this room? Excuse me, is there a darkness?
Yeah.
Yes, there is a darkness in this room.
No, compared, no, 1 second. The room is dark compared if the lights would be 10 times brighter. It's not dark.
But it's plain that...
No. Let me ask you a question. That's why the Rebbe gives you an example. If sometimes I'm religious, and sometimes I'm not so religious. Correct? Does that mean there's a change in me? Yes? Now, if my essence is religious, can it change? So why does it change? Why am I sometimes more religious than other times? In other words, what the Rebbe is saying over here. Why in Russia did they have more Mesiras Nefesh? Mamish giving up their lives. And in America, the same people didn't have the same level of Mesiras Nefesh. But that means there's something causing it. In other words, if your essence is essence, it doesn't matter. I'll give an example. A guy that's a From Yid in yeshiva, and then they leave that atmosphere, that surroundings. Do they stay the same or not? If they don't stay the same, that means in reality, it wasn't true what they were religious in the yeshiva. Because if it's truth, it's eternal. The fact that I'm more religious in yeshiva, let's say, and when you go out, you're less religious. I'm saying you're not religious. You're less religious. Why did it change? If your Yiddishkeit is authentic and real and its essence, so how could it change? That means that environment affected me that I was more religious. This atmosphere, influence, affected me that I'm less religious. So that's cause and effect again. Relatively speaking, it's cause and effect. If the decrees against Yiddishkeit awoke within me, Mesiras Nefesh, it should be the same all over.
And that remains like that.
Correct. So if I'm, where Bach, we used to always make fun of you, a younger man in Australia told us, he told one of our group, he said a beautiful word. He said, you know when you know that you were a Chassidish Bacher? When you get married and you still ask Chassidish. You ask Chassidish as you were when you were a Bacher. For a Bacher to be Chassidish, when you're in the issue. Now I'm talking about in our times when we didn't know of all these garbage things. Yeah? To be in yeshiva, be a Chassidish Bacher. I mean, like, yeah, why not? I mean, like, you could be a real Chassidish Bacher. But you know the real test of a Chassidish Bacher? When you're out of that environment and you're still Chassidish. And that's what the Rebbe is saying. There is Mesiras Nefesh that reveals the essence during Mordechai's time, during the Gzeiras of Haman and Gzeiras in Russia, whatever it may be. And that revealed essence, yes. But it's still, relatively speaking, it's an essence of more that's caused by something. How do we know it's caused by something? Because when that cause is not there, they don't have the same level of Mesiras Nefesh. When do you see the real Mesiras Nefesh? Under every possible situation. That's what we said. Purim was unique. A whole year they stood with Mesiras Nefesh. That means summer, winter, spring, fall. And that means under every avodah. But it's still because of the Gzeiras of Haman. Haman made decrees, and that's what caused it. But if it would be really real, Under any circumstance, it would be the same. And that, the Rebbe says, is a level of Ma'or when a Jew is broken, Kosis, from the fact that we're in Gullus. That's the ultimate level. And therefore, Mordechai's Avaida, okay, let's put it, Moshe Rabbeinu's Avaida was Matan Torah. No Mesiras Nefesh, revelations from above. The Rebbe says in the Maamar, and that in your Mordechai was even greater than Moshe Rabbeinu, because Mordechai revealed through the Mesiras Nefesh, influencing the Jews to have Mesiras Nefesh. So Mordechai influenced the Jews that during the Gzeir of Haman, they had Mesiras Nefesh, a whole year. They revealed essence, more essence. What the Rebbe is saying over here is that our generation is a deeper level of Ma'or. And that is to reveal the essence of the Jew, not because Goyim are causing you to sin or to go against Torah or whatever it is. The mere fact that you're in Golus, that means the Neshama is not feeling godliness the way the Neshama really wants to feel it, and that causes him to be broken. That is the ultimate level of the Neshama. And the Rebbe says this in 56 in the heart at the bottom. That causes the essence of the Neshama, which is rooted in the essence of Hashem, that's not limited, that it's essence and not revelation. It's not limited and infinite. It's a level of infinite which is above infinite and finite together. That can only come from complacency and Golus. And that was the Rebbe's Avodah. That people should want Mashiach. Now.
Everyone has the same amount of essence? Yeah.
Is Moshe Rabbeinu more Jewish than us?
Yeah.
No, not more Jewish. Is his intellect like ours? Is his emotion like ours? No, 100% not. But like you said, 9 Moshe Rabbeinu's don't make a million, and 10 Yukals do. Right? So, in that level of essence, there's no difference.
We learned, I don't want to confuse the issue, but we learned before, you have a part of the essence, you have the whole essence.
Correct.
So, it doesn't matter if it's a lower
But there's different levels of essence, the Rebbe is saying. There's an essence which is limited in being essence, that you have. But then you have a deeper level. The essence, the way it's not even limited in essence.
When you bite on an apple, do you get the essence of the apple, or you get...
Let me ask you a question. When you take a bite of an apple, you cut the apple in half, yeah? And you take a bite. You have half the taste of the apple?
No, the whole taste of it.
Do you have half the texture of the apple? Are you only eating half the apple? So you should have half the taste.
But the more you eat, the more you taste.
No, it's the same taste, just more of it. The quality is the same taste.
Why after the Shabbat?